inside the Pete Maravich Assembly Center. They call it the PMAC on the campus of LSU in Baton Rouge for today's top 10 matchup between the number 8 Crimson Tide of Alabama as they visit number 5 LSU Tigers. Now, we're in the heart of the regular season here, and these teams are hitting full stride. Let's check out some highlights from both of these teams from last week.
For Alabama, it's been build and find those extra tenths of a point with near perfection from Luisa Blanco, and freshman Lily Hudson continuing to impress with exciting, very clean gymnastics across all 4 events and high scores. And the LSU Tigers gaining tremendous momentum, showing off big, impressive gymnastics like this vault from Kaya Johnson, and consistency and confidence on the balance beam. And newcomers like KJ Johnson contributing early and significantly with crowd-pleasing, powerful tumbling and signature moves that ignite the fans.
Hi everybody, I'm Bart Connor along with my fellow Olympic medalist Kathy Johnson-Clark. Now Kathy, let's talk about these 2 storied programs and what's at stake today.
So both teams want to win, let's get that out there, but it's all about big scores. Both teams are shooting for that 198. That's a 9-9 average, so every time you see a 9-9 vault, that's money in the bank.
Now, this time of year, injuries do play a result in the outcome. So let's talk to Sam Pesic about that.
Yeah, Bart, unfortunately, junior from Alabama, Macari Doggett, has a high ankle sprain and will be unavailable for the competition tonight. For LSU, junior Alona Shinikova has been experiencing knee pain, and she is taking a rest temporarily from training in order to eliminate soreness and get back to full strength. Also, Haley Bryant, sophomore from LSU, she is still managing a foot injury, but guys, I saw her in training yesterday, and she looks strong and is ready to rock and roll in the all-around tonight.
It's a sellout crowd on hand, over 13,000 in the PMAC. It's going to be a thrilling night. Remind people how the gymnastics rules work. 6 gymnasts per team compete in each event. You count just the top 5 scores on each event towards that team total. The home order, vault, bars, beam, and floor. The away order, the visiting team starts on bars and has to finish on beam. Here is Jay Clark, over 30 years of coaching experience, 10 years with this program, but this is just his 2nd season as the LSU head coach. Of course, he took over after legendary Dee Bro retired after 43 years. And there is Dana Duckworth in her 8th season as Alabama's head coach. Of course, she was a former national champion, assistant coach, volunteer assistant coach, and now she's running one of the blue blood programs in all of women's gymnastics. Alabama has won 6 NCAA championships. All right, the home team starts on vault. Kai Rivers will get the call for LSU.
And she has a big, beautiful, full twisting Yurchenko. It has a 995 start value, so the highest score she can earn if it is perfect, and if she gets this stuff landing, is a 995.
Her season high so far is a 9875 on this event.
Watch the height, look for a good block off the table. Big ball, nice open position.
What a start.
Wow, her teammates just exploded down the runway because they know they just started with a big one. Great ball. Look at the height, the amplitude. I love the way she opened the hips, flared that laid out position, and found the landing.
What a way to start for the home team. Both of these teams hoping to finally put together a complete meet. And now at this point in the season, a lot at stake in the SEC in terms of the regular season championship and NCAA standing. Emily Gaskins, the senior from Florida, will lead off Alabama on the bars as you see their lineup.
And she has adjusted this routine to do this Maloney and then transition back to the low level the pack salto, leg separation on the pack. So the judges are looking for all of the details. Most important, the handstand on top of the bar, which she was short of. They will take a slight deduction there. Double layout, almost found the stuff landing, but a little scoop back.
Sarah Edwards will be next to go, the senior. for LSU. And guess what? Kai Rivers' score is in. It's a 9-9. So she starts LSU off with a career high on vault. That's the kind of meet Jay Clark wants from his team tonight against SEC rival Alabama.
Now we're going to see a 1.5 twist. This is a 10-0 start value. She has the quickest feet down the runway, pops up with huge amplitude, but unfortunately a large step forward. So the advantage she gained by doing a more difficult vault with the 10-0 start value, she kind of gave back a little bit with that step.
She's a graduate student here. She's one of 5 students who elected to take that extra year offered to the athletes because of COVID. Typically you see her in the vault and floor exercise lineup. Lily Hudson will be next to go. Emily Gaskins is Jordan Paradise is up now. And 9.85 was the score for Emily Gaskins in a leadoff spot.
So Dana came over to us last minute. She's kind of shifted the lineup around a bit, kept the same athletes, but moved their positions. Sometimes that's just a comfort situation. So she doesn't have a lot of experience on this event. She needs to stay calm, patient, nice first handstand, giant blind to a straddle Jaeger. Hits that handstand right on top of the bar. So this one is a double layout. It's a double somersault in a straight body position. Judges are looking for this shape in the air, and of course height. And the top on the landing will be the more significant of the deductions.
The first time for Jordan.
Obviously, she was on fire.
The second vaulter for LSU, Sarah Edwards, a season high 9.9. Elena Arenas now third up, and they are hot over here.
And sometimes this is the most impressive full in the country. That is a beauty. Yes, she had a slight pop on the landing. They will have to take a deduction there, but that is just a beautiful, so well performed full twist. Look at the height, almost 5 feet above the table, but the straight body, the pointed toes throughout the entire afterflight. Very, very slight leg separation coming onto the table. That's difficult to see from the judge's perspective because they sit right on the side.
Lily Hudson set to go now for Alabama. 3 times she's been in the bar lineup for the Crimson Tide. Last week she had a season high 9.9. She competed once in the all-around this year, which was her first meet of the season.
So her transition that she's going to open this routine with is slightly different than we saw. She's going to do a toe handstand first on the low bar.
Jordan Paradise before her had a 9.825. So the scores for Alabama so far, 9.85 to 9.825.
There's the toe hand right here. Now the toe on again to the Maloney. Leg separation there, slight deduction. Good form on the bail handstand. Put those legs together. Really finesse that handstand. Giant forward, slightly beyond the vertical position. But wow, what a landing. Gave away nothing on that dismount landing.
Let's go down to Sam Pesci.
Yeah, gymnastics, we all know, is more of a mental sport, and you really see that with KJ Johnson, who is about to vault right now. She can't do a vault unless all the chalk is off the runway, so it's a team effort. They all go on with their slippers and actually wipe away the chalk from the runway so that she feels comfortable and in the right mindset to do her job.
And whatever it takes. We watched her in warm-up. She is really explosive, Kathy.
Watch the run. This just sets this vault apart. Speedy down the runway, so much power.
Wow.
Big breath. Oh my gosh, that was nice.
Boy, did she launch that into the rafters here in the PMAC.
She did, and not just that, but the position and the flare open at the completion of the full. Look at the block. I mean, she bounces off that table. She's over 5 feet from the table. Opens those hips, flares out 6 feet from the table. Yes, she hopped a little bit, but boy, isn't it nice to see those legs glued together.
Fantastic. And she's coming after Elena Arenas, had a season high 9.875. So LSU smoking in this first rotation on vault. Shania Adams will be next to go for Alabama.
Shania had a few little issues in the warm-up, trying to get the timing, trying to not rush on certain elements. And then by the end of warm-up, she had it under control. So as long as she stays cool, this is her best event.
Score for her teammate Lily Hudson is in this, a 9.85.
It's beautiful handstand. Throws that one off so nicely. Look at the legs glued together on those transitions. So many gymnasts separate. And I was just going to remark, she will even keep them together on the more difficult transition to high, but really just missed that release point. She wasn't up high enough, didn't have the amplitude, the lift from the low bar.
Fall from the apparatus, you lose a half a point from the total score, and then you continue your performance from where you left off.
I actually think she will repeat this element. Because she needs this skill, well done, to have that 10-0 start value. She's a tiny bit short on that pass handstand. Beautiful combination, toe full, and that was what she was struggling with a little bit. There were no problems in warm-ups with the Van Leeuwen, with the skill that she fell on.
Lucky for her, had a 9.875 earlier this season on this event.
Right here, you can see she's reaching below the bar. She did not have the elevation necessary to regress.
Go back to LSU now on the vault. KJ Johnson, a 9.875. And here come the two hammers, as Jay Clark calls it. Kaya Johnson followed by Haley Bryan. This is one of the best 1-2 punches in all of gymnastics.
You stole that from me. You read my mind. Double twist here. Most difficult vault we will see. And that's a beauty. Yes, there's a little adjustment on the landing. They can't give her the perfect stick, but it's so much more difficult than all of the other vaults. We've seen a full, we've seen a 1.5. This is a double twist. She has tiny little bit of form, things that's so difficult to keep it perfect, doing a double twist. Look at the distance.
What a women's basketball matchup we have for you Sunday afternoon on ABC and the ESPN app. Aaliyah Boston and the #1 South Carolina hosts Jordan Horston and the 12th ranked Lady Vols. Coverage begins at 1 Eastern. Now we mentioned at the top of the show, in dual meet competition, 6 athletes compete. You count best 5 out of 6 scores. So you see the score there for Shania Adams, it's a 9.35. So they need Cam Machado and Luisa Blanco, their final 2 performers, to hit to get a good team score in this first rotation for the Crimson Tide.
Cam's going to do the same 3 flight elements that we just saw. Here's the Maloney, up the high bar, nice job trying to keep those legs together. Slight separation on the pack salto, down to low, but showing off these handstands. Toe hand, now watch the Van Leeuwen. Beautifully done. Finesses that gorgeous final handstand. Right into the dismount, good form, little bitty scoop hop on the landing. This is just fun gymnastics, flying back and forth from bar to bar, and she is just racking up the bonus points with those transitions, those flight elements between the bars, and a nice high. It's an easier dismount, but in combination, it works perfectly fine.
Talk about the hammers. Kaya Johnson got a 9.9, and here might be the best vault in the world.
Watch the rafters, because she is up there. Woo! Front pike half, 10-0 start value, and her superb technique just gets us every time. Both of our jaws are dropped.
Yeah, we've decided we're out of superlatives, because for this particular vault, there's very few people in the world that do it better.
It's magical because, I mean, no gymnast should be able to take off on the back side of the board, be on the front side of the table, and then launch it like sky high and way far away from the table.
LSU has 3 9.9s already, 2 9.875, so they will have a very big first rotation score when this is done. Luisa Blanco will be the final athlete for Alabama. Camp Machado had a 9.875. Blanco, one of the most complete balanced gymnasts, all-around gymnasts in the country.
You're right. I mean, what she brings to the sport, she is such an elegant performer. Even on a swim event, she shows off this exquisite form. Legs together, toes pointed, never out of position. Half pirouette on Lobo, so difficult to finish right on top. Lost the dismount, but you see that back here. Knees together, toes pointed, finds the landing. Time and time again, she is just so dialed in.
And Alabama needed that because they're trying to replace that 9.35. So they got 5 hit routines.
A lot of gymnasts can get a little bit messy in the air on that dismount, and she does such a nice job keeping that form and spotting the landing.
How about this? It's a season high for LSU on the vault, 49.5. Haley Bryant had a 9.925. Now when we come back, we'll hear from Alabama head coach Dana Duckworth on how she's crafting her lineup to be at its best for the postseason.